Hey man, what's going on?
Not much, man. How are you?
I'm all right. Hi everyone, my name is Justin MacPherson, now a former Ranger. Hurts to say, but it's the truth. And looking forward to this.
And he's talking to Arber Xhekaj. I'm a current Ranger, and I'll be going into my overage year next year.
Sounds good. I thought we'd start it off kind of by talking about how we landed in Kitchener. You want to start that one off?
Yeah, for sure. So I was playing I was actually undrafted to the OHL, and I was playing in St. Catharines, like Falcons Junior B, as a 16-year-old, and then I got invited to like a few OHL camps, and I guess Kitchener obviously took a shot at me, and I'm pretty sure my first year was your first year, and we were kind of sitting beside each other there, didn't know each other and didn't know anyone really. Pretty sure I
Some
asked you
guy
for
with a
tape.
weird last name.
I asked you for tape one time and you just gave me like a weird look. I'm like, oh, this is a nice guy right here.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, so I got traded to Kitchener from Niagara. I kind of a weird story, but like going into my OHL draft year, I visited Kitchener like probably 3 or 4 times, and I thought like it was Kitchener or nothing. Like I thought that's where I was going to end up for sure. I ended up getting picked by Niagara and spent my first 2 years there. But after my second year in Niagara, I bumped into Macker in the middle of the summer. And I was just like, oh, like me and my dad, I'm like, oh, hey, Macker, like what's going on? And just shooting the shit. And then he goes, and we're just like, hey, if you still want me, like I'll definitely come to Kitchener. And then a few months go by in the middle of August. I just get a call. I was at the gym, get a call, run outside. It's my agent. He's like, so they want to trade you to Kitchener. And I was just like in shell shock, like out of nowhere, like freaking out, like calling my dad, like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, what's going on? So then after that all went through, just getting to Kitchener, meeting you, big boy, in the dressing room, running around training camp like a donkey. But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. And then we actually, me and Justin, we actually became like pretty good friends because my car broke down and he would always have to pick me up. He kind of lived near me. So you'd have to pick me up every time. And we had a deal going on. Like I would make him food if he drove me and he was fine with that. So I was like, all right, I'll get up
Yeah,
early to make you some oatmeal in the morning.
yeah, not really getting up early. So knocking on your door, you're still fast asleep.
Yeah. Guess that happened a couple of times.
Yeah, just a couple, and then we had to race to the rink.
Every time.
Remember, remember that one time the guy was cutting us off the whole time? And we're like freaking out. We got like 7 minutes to get to the rink, and this guy's pissed off that we're tailgating him, and we're like, dude, like you gotta move.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that was we had
running up the hill to get in the door.
7 minutes exactly to get to the rink. We needed all the lights to be green, everything to go good to get there on time. Always the last two rolling in,
We got it close sometimes.
slipping on the ice, trying to run into the rink every time in our slippers.
That's good stuff. I don't know about you, but you remember kind of your first like roadie in the OHL? Anything stand out about that?
No, not really. Just I don't know. I just got called back to the bus a few times, had to tell a few stories, and actually, we get like remember how we got like Tim Hortons like for free or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got like four things, and you're only supposed to get one, especially as a rookie. And I grabbed like four things. Like, oh, like first time someone's paying for something for me, like this is sweet. I got fined a lot for that for sure.
Would you bring back a donut and a full sandwich or what?
I think it was like a coffee, a muffin, and something else too. Guys were dying.
Heavy muffin, heavy boots. Well, like for me, my first roadie in the OHL is still in Niagara, and we were going up to North Bay for the. I don't know if we just had one game there or not, But we get there and we're like waiting to hear like who we're rooming with. Like we're all standing at the front desk, and like I'm the last guy to get called, and she calls three names, and we're all like, oh, like, okay. So then we walk up to the room, me, backup goalie, and like another guy who was like on the edge of the lineup, like getting bumped in and out. And we get to the room, two double beds, and we all like just like look at each other. We're like, this will be good. Nice cardboard beds in Sudbury, sleeping me and Cal Davis like this in a double bed.
That's funny.
Yeah, good one for my first one.
What about like your first like rookie camp? Like any experience there or what?
I got a good one actually. It was like, so in Kitchener we led up to that like blue and white game, right? That was like the last game before cuts, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of had the same thing in Niagara. It was like black and white or whatever, and all fired up, like new kid, like this is it. Like I gotta play well. I'm super nervous. I think like it honestly might have even been my like first shift of the game, and like I'm still like worried about like making the team, impressing everyone. And I jump out there and like I literally come off the bench, skate to like the far side, gap up on the blue line, and I have Aaron Hayden coming at me full speed, big guy. I'm like, ugh, and backing up. And then we had a back checker, and they were like coming right at me. And as I like went to go step up and kind of make a hit, they both tripped, took my feet up, and hit the ice and broke my front tooth. I still had braces on at the time. My parents were in the building, first shift, and I had to leave the ice right away. Doctors or dentist is looking at me, seeing what's going on, and I didn't play the rest of the game. And then I go outside, and my mom looks at me, and she's like almost in tears, like, "Oh my God, what did you do?"
This guy can't wear a visor.
Yeah, not even my
mad.
first game in the OHL, first training camp, broken tooth. That was
That's
a disaster. My mom didn't really like that one.
Oh, and when I was in like when I was trying out for Kitchener, like I was just a complete random guy there, not a draft pick or anything. So I had to make a statement out there and like find a way for guys to like look at my name, obviously, because I'm trying to make it here. So I was 100% most hated guy on the ice. Like I'm chopping Joey Greffa. Me and Greg are getting into it. These guys are like, who is this clown? And then when they see me, like when they see like the team getting picked and stuff, and they all see me, and it was so awkward. They're like, wow, you like we hated you at camp. I was like, I was like slashing them, but I was like, sorry, like I could potentially be your teammate. Like but I was just like, I had to do it. It just had to be
So
done.
awkward. I was
It
like,
was
that
so
was Donald's first training camp too. I remember me and Dammer are like roommates, and I'm still like kind of new. Like I don't really know many guys. I knew Dammer and like maybe Q, and Dammer was pretty close with Tress, right? And
yeah.
I guess Tress was roommates with Donald for training camp, and so Tress comes in, and then strolls in Donald, freaking guy. Like I was like, who the hell is this guy? Like coming
Oh
into my
yeah, he was.
room, this ginger mop all over the place, or doo, 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 doo. And then they were like, "Oh, like let's go get a snack or something from the convenience store," and I was like, "Okay, like I'm not going." And so Dono, like all like innocent 16-year-old Dono's like, "Hey man, can I borrow your shoes?"
Oh
Like,
yeah, I remember that.
I'm like thinking to myself, like, who is this guy? Like, he takes my shoes, and now like we're so close. It's so funny to think back on like these are random guys you don't know. Like,
Oh yeah, and like and it was weird because we had the team party right after training camp, and I guess there was a lot of rookies that year, and it was so weird because no one knew each other, and we had to do like we had to dance for everyone, and oh, it was pretty funny. It was awkward.
yeah, that
It was like,
was funny. Like, I still barely knew anyone. Like,
yeah, you were sitting there around the circle, didn't know anyone. We're all
yeah,
stressing in the room, like trying to think of a dance. Oh, it was fun though.
yeah, that was good. Going back to the first roadie, what the thing that sticks out about roadies to me is Monster Mash.
Oh, that was crazy. Before a game.
Stupidest thing ever. Could have
Oh
gone
my.
so much worse, but luckily it
Oh
didn't.
yeah. I don't know how no one got hurt. So like
For anyone
obviously,
wondering, you go explain
yeah.
it.
It's, for everyone wondering what that is, it was Reed and I guess Reed and Howell. They were roommates and they started this thing called Monster Mash or whatever. And you go in your hotel room and you shut off all the lights and then everyone grabs a pillow and
Yeah,
there's one guy.
we would get like 12 guys. We
Yeah.
had like they had two like rooms connected. So they opened the door and we've got like 15 guys in there.
And it'd be like two or three guys trying to make it from the corner of the hotel room in through the door to the other room, and the rest are just smashing them around with pillows.
Yeah,
And I don't
lights
know,
out, nobody could see.
and then Reed would do like a full ceremony to introduce everyone, and
Oh my God.
everyone getting whiplash from the pillows. I don't know. No one got hurt. It was fun, but
Thank God.
definitely something risky. Someone,
Yeah.
hey coach, like Donald can't play tomorrow. He's got whiplash, something like that.
Yeah,
That
got a
would have been
concussion from bouncing his head off the wall.
bad.
Oh, that was 12 sweaty guys in the dark, shirts off, everyone leaking.
The beds are all mangled too. Everyone's bouncing around.
Yeah.
Could have
Thank
easily
God it
got a
wasn't my room.
couple complaints for that for sure.
Oh, well. Yo, question. Erie Krispy Kreme across the street. When we we would run across the street, tell me it was you who was running back across the street and buckled your knee. Oh my God.
No, because we always sprint across the street because there's no lights and there's what is it, a 4 intersection with an island in the middle, like it's something big, like
Yeah, three
so
lanes on each side.
we're all running. It's raining. There's puddles everywhere. Running with our
Sprinting across
donuts.
the street with your donuts.
And I was running, and there was this huge pothole. My foot just divoted right down. I went flying, pants ripped, full head to toe mud, and that's my only tracksuit too. That was a disaster.
Sent you 10 feet in the air.
Scraped up elbow, scraped knee, just for running across the street for donuts. Yeah, that was me. That was tough.
Oh,
That was pretty
God,
funny
that's
though.
funny. Oh, I thought that was you hurting yourself running for donuts. Good thing you didn't mess up your knee too bad. Could you imagine? Hey,
Oh,
coach.
yeah, I was running. No, I remember Danny had to tape me, or Berkey had to tape me up, and like because I had these huge cuts all over my knee. And he's like, "What happened to you?" I was like, "Don't even ask, man." Oh, how about another super funny one is when we were in Owen Sound and and it was like a whiteout or whatever, like when it was when it was
After the
super
game?
snowy. Yeah, it was a whiteout, and we are just traveling around the city, and everyone it's like 2 a.m. and we're going to all these hotels trying to figure out like we got to stay here, like we can't drive home. And
Yeah.
and I remember our bus driver like kept stopping at these lights, but like no one was out, and we were sliding into the lights every time, like, and he kept stopping. I remember Sebrango stood up and he's like, well, like what's going on? Why are we stopping at these lights? And I guess he was looking back because someone took his hat or something, and he stood up, and like our bus driver Kevin, like the replacement, slammed on the brakes and he went flying like 3 rows down. Looked like a truck
God.
just hit him.
That guy could never catch a break. He was always getting angry on the bus.
Yeah, he's a moody guy. Everyone's always grabbing at his hat or doing something to him, pulling his hair. I remember like Reed kept getting bored and he kept putting like goldfish on his head, and as Don was just trying to watch his show. Oh, those guys would go at it. It's pretty funny.
Well, I think I kind of told you, but like nothing compares to my bus rides in Slovakia, man. Like it was absolutely nuts. Like it's literally like one road across the whole country. Like you just go from like town and then you're like in the middle of nowhere to the next town, like one road. and these guys fly. Like I'm holding on. I'm in the middle of the bus holding on for dear life. Me and the other Canadian guys, Bert and Wash, were like sick to our stomachs. Like everyone's got like a bag, like ready to throw up from this guy, like taking turns at 100 miles an hour, all holding
I don't know
on.
how. I don't know how they
Yeah.
fly.
My first rodeo with them, we're all like sitting down, and then one guy like gets up, comes up. I was like kind of right, like the washroom was in the middle of the bus, not at the back like ours. And there was like little stairs and like a door, and then there was like a door to the outside, and then there was another door on like the opposite side of the washroom. And I just see like two guys come out of this random door. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like coming out of nowhere. And like obviously I'm not asking them. They don't even know what I'm saying. So eventually like I found out from the other guys that there's just like a bed under the bus for the bus driver, I guess. These guys are just taking pregame naps under the bus on our way to the gate.
Oh, that's a crazy lifestyle over there.
Oh,
You
it
want to
is.
talk a bit about like the game style and how it's different from the OHL?
Yeah, sure. It took a while to get used to. Like the biggest thing for me was just like being out of shape. Like I hadn't skated in like a month when I went there, and like like going to that big ice over there, I was just like gassed every 5 seconds skating around the biggest zone of my life. But it was good for me. Like it just like it was cool to just kind of see the difference over there, and like just a lot more space, right? Like it's less physical, like, and you just have a lot more time and space with the puck. Like they play so structured that it makes it difficult, but like you can just hold on to the puck for so much longer than what the OHL is. And it took a little while to get used to, but what helped, like they play like a different way over there. Like they run like a 5-man unit, like versus the OHL, it's kind of like forwards and D. Like
Yeah.
as D, we're kind of line matching against like their forwards and vice versa for them.
Well,
But
you guys
like
go
over
five out the one door.
pretty much, no, we're going out different
Five
doors.
straight.
But like
Oh
our
yeah.
coach will like call out, like we had like 8D playing, and our coach would call out like first line, second line, third line, fourth line, and like those 5 guys are going on the ice together like every time. Like there's no, you're never playing with a different group of forwards as a D pairing. So I mean, our coach like was good enough to put all of us. There was 4 of us in total, Canadian or American boys. So he put us all together like on one line, which definitely helped. Like I mean, the language barrier was one thing for sure, but just like even the style of play and kind of knowing like where each other were and getting used to that definitely helped. Like I couldn't even imagine if I was on a line with 4 other guys who not one lick of English. It would have been pretty tough, but
Oh yeah.
I was all right.
I guess you're just really yelling like yeah, here. That's about it.
Yeah, I guess so. But the
I don't
the
know.
one thing there, like, I don't know if it was because like they didn't have fans because of COVID, but like over there, it's like a soccer game, right? Like they're cheering like the entire game. Like nobody's like sitting down, like they're just yelling the entire game, right? So because they had no fans, like half the buildings would just like play surround sound of like fans cheering the entire game. Like so you literally can't hear anything. Like there was one play, like I remember I was like I picked up the puck and like going around behind our net, and like I think I have like time for days, like because they're changing or whatever. I can't hear anything, right? No skates coming at me, nobody talking. Guy right in my back pocket picks me and takes the puck. I'm like getting so angry that I can't hear anything, but
Shut it off.
yeah, I'm like looking at the guy in the time box, turn the music off. Not a
That's
clue
funny.
what I'm saying. Some Canadian boy just yelling on the ice.
What about the refs there? They're brutal, eh? They throw
Yeah,
you in
me
the
and the
box. You don't even know what to just call it. What are you getting a penalty for?
yeah, me and the refs didn't really get along over there. Well, I mean, Sebrango was there before me, and he played 5 or 6 games and had 50 pims. Like, but I don't know. It's just like it's different. Like, the refs over there are used to like a different style of play, right? So like less hitting and like I don't know. There's just like versus the OHL, it's a lot softer. Like when it comes to calls, so like little hacks or little cross checks, like they're just not used to like that kind of stuff. So like anything I'm used to doing, like little cross checks in front of the net, like the refs aren't used to seeing that, so they call it, and the players aren't used to getting that, so like they're all over the ice. Meanwhile, you're getting like a big boy in the OHL, you can't even move them. These guys, you give them a little tap, they're sliding 10 feet across the ice. Like,
Yeah, that's like I was like junior B too. Like they were tight on pet calls. Like I think I had 40 games, 100, 110, 120 penalty minutes. Like every little thing you do, like they try and keep it like they try and keep a clean game. I don't know. That's
yeah,
why I
just
like the OHL. Like they're more lenient with that stuff. But
just making a name for yourself in that league, eh?
I don't know. I was like a 16-year-old with 110 penalty minutes. Like people were like, "Oh, it's gonna look bad for the scouts and all that." And I was like, God, "Like, what do you want me to do here?"
Yeah, how about your all-star game?
Oh yeah, so I get called to play in like the junior B rookie all-star game, and like near the end of the game, I don't know, somehow I got into like this conflict with this one guy, and then we end up dropping the gloves. We got cages on, like first fight ever in an all-star game. Like I don't know, it was pretty funny. But then I had like I think the Guelph and the London scout come up to me after and like, oh, we like to see that stuff. Like no one wants to no one wants to play their game in the all-star game. They'll try and do something special, but you're just doing your style and we like that or whatever.
That's
Yeah.
good. Freaking Tom Wilson just showing off his mitts and his fighting skills, eh, over there.
Yeah.
That's good. The next thing I was gonna say was talking about dressing as a forward.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had
I
a
don't
couple of those. I had one of those.
Yeah, you did. I remember that. I had we had like what our first year we had like nine D or something like that.
Yeah.
Something crazy, but yeah, they I guess they just put me as a fourth line forward, like the green line. We called ourselves the boogers. And yeah, I don't know, like back in like junior B, like I played like a pretty offensive game, like a little different than how I do now in the OHL, but uh, I I can play forward like pretty well, I think. Like, and my job as like the third line or fourth line was just to like get pucks deep, just have a quick shift and get off. Like I didn't play much that year, but
You and Roops out there causing a
yeah,
ruckus.
that was pretty good. That was the second year.
Oh,
Yeah, that
well,
was
how many did you get in your first year? How many did you
played
get in
like
your second year?
one or two. I think
Oh,
it was
that's
just one
all.
or two,
Yeah.
but yeah, in my first year, like I got like I don't know, I played like 20 games up front, like a couple shifts here and there, but it was
There
pretty
was
hard. Like
there was a tough month for you, I think, coming to the rink and seeing that green boogers jersey hanging in your stall.
it's tough because like you don't want to like produce on forward or like do well because then you don't want to be stuck there like you're used to your position. Like it's just I don't know, you just got to deal with it, but
Yeah, it's definitely a
you don't
weird
get
situation.
you don't get enough ice time to do anything really. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
you made
It's
it work.
yeah, it was. I found my spot eventually.
The other team always felt your presence out there. Eh?
Yeah, at least even if I was on the bench try and get something going, chirping. I remember this
Yeah,
one game. I we were in the Sioux and we were in like a tight game with their team and they had a good team that year. I remember Morgan Frost skates by the bench and he said something to someone and I stood up and I gave him a chirp and Wideman tapped me and he's like, yeah, buddy, that's not the guy you want to be chirping. Like he'll go score 2 goals next shift, like sit down. And I'm like, and I just kind of sat down embarrassed, but he's like looking like who is talking right now?
yeah. Well, me and Frosty are like kind of buddies just from growing up, and like I remember he came down on me and like tried to do that heel drag thing like through the legs, and I was like so nervous. Like all I wanted to do was not be
Please
like a
don't.
highlight reel of me like fishing for the puck. I'm like, oh dude, like come on, we're friends. Don't do this
Yeah,
to me.
no.
Like, come on, I do not want to
He
be on Sportsnet.
he got one guy pretty good, but he didn't score. But it's still a highlight everywhere. One of my buddies he
Oh,
got with.
yeah. I was like, please, like shaking in my boots.
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember.
speaking of chirps, how about Saginaw? What
Oh
was that
yeah,
guy's name?
it was Caddick or whatever.
Paddock.
I skate by their bench and I was playing good minutes this game and I'm into the game or whatever. And their goalie was skating by and I like kind of like chest bumped them and like was chirping him a bit. And then because I don't know, our coach said get in the goalie's head. So I don't know, I'll do whatever it takes. So bump the guy and then Caddick stands up on the bench and he's like, "Hey, alphabet boy, like you touch him again and I'm gonna kill you." And I was like, I just started laughing I was like alphabet boy, like that's pretty good. I don't know. I found it funny, and then
Yeah,
Rapoli always called me alphabet soup or
yeah, that one stuck with you for a little way.
alphabet boy, and oh yeah, that nickname wasn't going anywhere. That
Well,
was
even
funny.
even Al, your nickname, like that one came out of the most random place
Yeah,
ever,
I
too.
remember. Yeah, Wideman kept calling me Al because like Al Arbor, like that the Islanders coach or whatever, and like he was like, "Yeah, your nickname is Al." Like I barely even know him, and I'm like, "Why is this guy calling me?" He's like, "I'm not calling you X," because that's what the guys called me at the time. He's like, "I'm not calling you X or anything like that." He's like, "Trust me, you're an Al," and I was like, "Okay, I was like, this is not gonna stick. Like, this is
Yeah,
not."
like what
And
is
then
that?
it ended up fully sticking, and now like I'm just used to getting called Al by everyone, every player, every coach, everyone. It's just like it's second nature now.
Yeah, just because like nobody was calling you. Like, there's no short form for your name, right? Like, we got Arbs,
No,
I guess, maybe. Nobody ever really called you that. Jack,
no.
Jack, we had Joey G calling you Zirkaj for a bit.
Zhekaj. Oh, he was hilarious with the nicknames. I like
That
that guy.
guy's something else. Well, even like
Uh,
my half of my nickname, James.
oh yeah, James. Instead of calling you James,
Yeah, that
we
one
started calling
stuck to
Greg.
me.
We started calling Greg George and
Yeah,
James. Like we're like,
yeah, some good ones. I
uh,
think it was Vooks who started it. I don't know, it came out of nowhere, but whatever.
yeah,
James, I'll take it.
James. I remember you were. Was it the first year or the second year where they were calling you Mick Fearless because our
Our slogan was fearless.
yeah, so they were like
I,
Mick Fearless or whatever. What
that
year
yeah,
was
that
that?
must have been last year, like the
Yeah,
most recent one.
I think McHugh
Mick
started calling you
Fearless.
that.
I think honestly, I think Q called me that training camp my first year. We were playing sewer and I like barely knew
Yeah, I
anyone,
remember
trying to
that.
just fit in and be quiet. And all I hear is Q pipe up, McFearless, McFearless. I'm like, oh my God, like just like get me out of here. Like what the hell? What is this?
Oh, I remember actually speaking of like playing sewer outside, which is just keep ups with the soccer ball. And I remember I was on Hall's team, so he was kind of running the show there. And
Mhm.
I remember like he kicked the ball to me and I shot it like a rocket at someone and got one of like the other guys out. And he's like, and he just kicked me out of the game. He's like, "Yeah, you're done, bud." And I was like, I had no idea. I thought we were actually playing. Like I played it in junior B. These other guys like they never played it before. So I was like, I was used to playing the game, and I booted it at a kid and got him out. And then he's like, "Yeah, you're gone."
Yeah,
Just
you
kicked,
go sit in the corner and pout. Think about what you've
sat,
done.
sat me out of the game. We had some good sewer games. We got crazy sometimes with
Yeah,
them.
you and Greg together were disaster.
The package
Picking on
deal,
everyone.
picking apart all the rookies.
Oh God.
That's funny.
Yeah, just trying to hide away from anyone whenever you touched the ball because you never knew where it was going.
Making the worst rules. Just oh,
Yeah.
that's a fun.
Yeah,
That's
Greg
a
and
fun
Howie
game.
making up their own rules as they went.
Greg and Howie and Spikeball never lost a single game.
Oh
Those
God, I
guys
don't
were
even want
brutal.
to talk about spike ball. Hitting the roof every single time, and I would lose points like it was nothing. Was it you, my partner? Like, I
It
don't
was
know.
me and you,
Yeah,
and you'd always bop it to the ceiling. I'm like, this guy's brutal.
Rock hard mitts.
Howie with his like sneaky little like stupid little tap play. Ball
Yeah,
doesn't
you were
go
stuck
anywhere.
in the concrete, flopping on the ground like a fish, trying to pick it up.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, that reminds me. Do you remember one practice? It would have been last year because it was Iggy. Me and my bomb, hardest shot on the team. We were doing that like 2-on-1 drill where you like it would go like D to D to the forward, and then you would hit like the cross ice D man for a shot, and that guy would have to like back check the 2-on-1. You remember that one?
Oh yeah.
I like pick up the puck. I don't know if it like ends up on its side or whatnot, but an absolute bullet comes off of my stick. Hits Iggy right in the face day before a game, I think. Like, and he just explodes, like gets
He
so angry, turns
he
around,
throws his
breaks
helmet
his
off, turns
breaks his
around.
stick over the crossbar. Like, and I'm just looking back, like back checking to get back into play, looking back, like
That was funny.
do I even
Actually,
go say sorry?
I
Yeah,
know. Like, what do you do at that point? Like,
sorry, man. Like, I really didn't mean to. But yeah, I just remember like I don't know where I don't know where goalie coach was, but he wasn't there for a few days, and then he comes back and he like gets in my face and he's all serious, and I'm like, hey man, like joking around like usual, and he's like, did you hit Iggy in the face the day before a game? And I was like dead serious, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, don't ever do that again. I'm like thinking he's
oh,
kind of joking, and like he is dead serious. I was oh, sorry, man.
that's
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
What
What
about
about you
like
got?
some other like non-on ice stuff? Like some of the stuff we did, like as
Yeah,
a
we
team,
we
like
had some fun
the
last
Buffalo
year.
Bills game.
Yeah, that was definitely fun. Who drove us? Motu waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Motu and Declan, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to those guys for driving us home or driving us there and home. All I remember about the ride home, I think there was five of us in the car, and for whatever reason, I got stuck in the middle. I think it was Motu's car, and no headrest in the middle, and we're all like passed out like 5 minutes in, and I just wake up when we show up to Pinelli's house. My head had been like resting back on the seat, no headrest the whole way. I wake up, I'm like trying to crack my neck back into place. Oh,
I
that was
remember
painful.
how awkward it was. Like we had to ask Danny for our passports, and he's like, "Why do you need your passports?" We're like, "Oh, like try to convince the coaches to go," and they let us go. And no, that was a
Yeah,
fun experience, honestly.
yeah, yeah.
Me
That
and
was a lot of
Serpa
fun.
passing out in the crowd watching the game. Barely even watched the game.
Yeah, 5 minutes in,
I think that was
waking
actually
up
the game
5 minutes
where
before it ended.
the coach dropped his like playbook and it went
Oh
flying
yeah,
on the field.
scattering across the
And the
field.
one guy grabbed it and he was like pretending to read it. That was funny.
Yeah. We did some fun stuff. Laser Quest or Laser Tag, whatever it is.
Oh
That
yeah.
was
No one wanted
that.
to go at first, but
Oh, that was fun, man. It got way too competitive though.
oh, everyone started like getting heated, making all these stupid names.
Yeah, you were running around with your hoodie covering all
Oh,
your like lasers.
I had a hoodie over the triangle and I was sweating buckets in there. I'm like, I'm trying to hide my thing. It's still not working because when your gun gets shot, like
Yeah. I
it
just remember
tags you
you
out.
standing there. Yeah. I just remember you standing there thinking you're invincible. And I was just ripping you apart because your gun's sticking around the corner. You're freaking out, like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
paintball too? We got a couple of sharpshooters.
Oh,
I remember.
bro, our first game, like, we show up there and, like, they're at, like, intermission, right? So there's, like, five or six of us. I don't know, maybe seven. And we, like, stroll up and we're like, hey, like, we're not really sure what's going on. And me and you run out full speed trying to get across the like one laneway, and we both book it across, and we like jump in the bush, like trying to lay down. We're not sure what is going on, where we have to go, what do we have to do, and then out of nowhere, ding, ding, foreheads, and we're both like looking at each other.
Yeah.
I look at you, you got paint covering your whole face. I'm like, yeah, I think we're out.
I remember we had to walk to the end. I guess they picked the teams as like rookies versus vets, and all of us
Oh,
rookies had
you're
to like
talking
walk.
about team paintball.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, I was thinking about the one we went to in Kitchener, like with Serpa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one. But
No,
yeah,
I'm talking about the
team
team one. We had
paintball.
to we had
We
to walk
rented out the
walk to
whole
the end.
place.
Yeah, we had to walk to the end, and you guys are all shooting us in the back and stuff, and we're like, holy, like this is gonna be fun. I remember like I looked up and I guess you had your gun like sticking to the smallest like place,
Yeah,
and you
we went
shot
at it.
me, and it hit me right in the top of the head, hurt so bad. And then you shot me again right in the mask, and then I look at like Dickerson. I'm like, wipe it off. He smudges it off. I can't see anything. I'm trying to hit you the whole time. I'm like, oh, this guy.
Yeah, I knew exactly where you were, and you were hyping yourself up before. I'm like, I gotta take this guy down.
You guys were lighting me up. And then we had to do
Oh, that's funny.
that zombie thing, and everyone votes me to be that one guy. So it's me versus everyone. I can't even move an inch. I'm getting shot in the fingers. Like I don't even know what to do. So I stick my gun over top and just start spraying guys.
I was, did you come to paintball with the guys at that like outdoor place?
No, not with Serpa and
Oh,
Dono.
well, I guess it wasn't me and you. I think it was me and Donald then getting pegged in the forehead 4 seconds into our first game. But
Before it started.
yeah, pretty much. We jumped across, got hit in the forehead. But we played that zombie game while we were there too. And we're like the ref's like, all right, who wants to be like the first zombie? And everyone's like, no way, like I want to be the zombie who like doesn't die and just gets hit a million times. And then like out of the crowd, this guy pops his head out, bald, blue mohawk with like a chrome mask, and he's like wearing a tank top only, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll be the zombie." Me, Donald Reed, and whoever else are standing there like, "Oh my god, what what is wrong with this guy?" We're all scared, like this guy's gonna kill us.
Oh yeah. Was he good?
Yeah, he was pretty good. We were all like sitting in a one little room, like he had to like come up the stairs and get us out of the rooms and like shooting us, and like we're all standing there, balls are flying by our ears, whacking the walls beside us. We're all like don't know what to do, sitting in the corner, waiting for him to come up and just hit us, tear us
That's
apart.
funny.
Yeah, that was fun. What else?
Like what was going through your mind, and what'd you do when like the season like fully got shut down? Like
Yeah.
when they said like
Well,
you'll be
like,
back in 2 weeks or whatever.
yeah, that was such like a weird day. Like, we had started talking about COVID like a little bit before that, right? Like, Berkey did a little presentation on it, I think, just like being aware of kind of what's going on, and then we showed up to the rink that day for like practice. Got there at like whatever 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and like no coaches were around. Like we were just kind of like waiting. Like nobody kind of really told us like what was going on. And then we found out that they were having like a meeting at 3 o'clock. So we had like 2 hours to kill, and then they had their meeting, and it still like took a while for the information to get to us. So I just remember like we were just playing sewer on the basketball court, like messing around. Like we had no clue what was going on and like how big this thing was going to be, and we're all just having the time of our lives playing sewer, messing around in the room. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, we were all sitting there like I remember we're just playing like sewer in the room or whatever, and then we were playing that like vroom game, and then whenever whenever you got out, everyone went nuts and like would tackle you, and
Yeah,
then we did
the
like what else did we do?
WrestleMania.
We did wrestle matches, and I don't know. That was like one of the best like bonding days for us. We had like 4 hours together of just to kill time, and then I don't know, they send us home for 2 weeks, and I remember I would go in my backyard and like I'd be shooting pucks every day, and I'm like pretending I'm in playoffs. Like, here we go. Like trying to pretend like who we're playing. And I was like, because I'm like, oh, we can't get on the ice. So, because everything was getting shut down, I guess. And
Yeah.
I'm just shooting pucks and all that. And then when we found out we weren't going back, it was pretty disappointing. But
Yeah.
it's been a long year.
Well, like even that day, like I just remember I was like, all right, like a little 2 week break, like I'll take it. Like it's not the end of the world. Like
Yeah.
go home, hang out with my family. Like I remember my dad's calling me off the hook. He's like, pack all your gear, like get home, beer league game at 9:30. You better be there. I'm like, everyone's like trying to figure out like when to go home, like tonight or tomorrow. I got my dad on the phone, like, get home now, beer league game. You better be there. I'm like,
he's hype. He's got the All-Stars back.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, settle down. Like, come on. But yeah, I remember like even Bergie, I was like, yo, like, are you okay? Like, what are you gonna do for 2 weeks? Like hanging out at his billet house. I was like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
come stay with me, like whatever, like we'll figure it out. And yeah, like I don't know, it's crazy how what it just turned into.
Yeah. I was not expecting that, but
yeah. I don't know. Like it hasn't been like obviously sucked not playing hockey and like losing out on my last year especially sucked. But I mean, like it's been like not a bad year. Like me and you have gotten out and we've done a few fun things. Like right, I don't know. We had some fun adventures. Blue Mountain for that one weekend was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was good.
So we do picking up mountain biking. Yeah,
ended up spending $2,000 each on bikes.
Yeah. Who would have ever guessed that a year ago or 2 years ago now?
Not a chance.
Yeah, now we're both in love with it. Just waiting for Troy to get back on his bike.
So like I want to tell him what happened. So so we go, like Justin's billet dad in Kitchener. He loves mountain biking. He's always like, he's got like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 bikes. Like he's fully in love with it. And he's always, when he found out we got into it, he was hype. And then he was like, yeah, you guys got to come out to Hydro Cut, which is in Kitchener. Like we'll show you the ways, like me and my buddy. So we ended up, what was it, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks ago now.
2 or 3 weeks ago, we went with him, and he can do like all like the high rocks and like jump off stuff and all that. And then we get to this one part in the woods, and it was this massive rock, like I don't know, like 6 feet in the air, and it was like, I don't know, like I'm still relatively new to like mountain biking, but I just try everything, like why not?
Yeah.
And this was after like the season got canceled, so I'm like, hey, if I get hurt, like I got time to recover. So that's how I just think of it. And so he's like, yeah, I've been looking at this thing for like 4 years and I haven't tried it yet. Like he's like, I've just been looking at this rock, like I want to do it so bad. It's like huge rock, just drop off. And
yeah, it's like an awkward, I was like roll up to it though. So like it makes you second guessing.
Yeah, it's like hard to get speed for it, and it's like, I don't know, like what would you say, like 6 foot, 5 foot drop?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty high. And I was like, hey, like I'm going for it. And then we found this other guy that was one of the makers for the ramp, so he knew how to do like all the jumps. So I was like, yeah, I'll go with like your pace. Like I'll follow you and do it how you do it. And then Troy's like, that's it, I'm doing it. Like can't let this rookie show me up here. And I went up, and that first guy did it, then I did it. Then he completely like drilled his front tire in the dirt, twisted the bars, and like bike flew on his head, and it was a bad wipeout.
Oh yeah, I was standing from afar. I watched the whole thing. I'm like, oh god, this guy isn't. I was getting scared. Up. Like,
I thought he was done. I was scared. That was bad.
Thank God he walked that one off. But wow.
Oh yeah, he ended up riding his bike all the way back. Yeah. He's like, I don't know, like he was like, yep, I'm good. He's like, I just can't move. Like his leg was completely swollen. I don't know how he didn't break any bones, but like that was just a hard wipeout. That was pretty funny.
I've had a couple of good ones. The first day I got my bike with you. Where were we, in Coburg or on our way home from Coburg, and stopped at a trail, and it was like super sandy, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
and
that one.
yeah, and you're like picking up the pace. I'm like trying to keep up behind you, and it was like a just like a sharp enough turn that you had to like pay attention, and just like the sand. I go to turn my front tire, catches right in the sand, launches me over the handlebars about 8 or 10 feet, landing on my shoulder. I'm like trying to walk it off. You're like nowhere to be seen.
I was yelling for you. I knew you
I'm
wiped
like,
out too, because you're usually way closer, and then you were just nowhere to be found. I'm like, I was yelling, and I was like, yeah, this guy definitely wiped out. So I'm about to go back in the woods. I see him like just holding their arm like you're hurt. That's funny.
I had a good one this weekend actually. Uh, we have a cottage on like right by Sir Sam's ski hill, so they haven't opened up a lift yet. So I've had like my mom, my dad, or whoever kind of drive me up on the 4-wheeler. There's a little road to the top of the hill just so that I could bike down the hill and not have to bike up it, right? And like, so I get to the top of the hill. I'm like, oh, like I did this like yesterday or last weekend. Like I'm fine. Like, no, I'm ready to go. Like no warm up. Like not really dialed in, right? Pick a good old black diamond down the hill. First turn, I get a pedal bite. Foot falls off the pedal, smashes me in the shin. I'm like, oh, all right, no worries. Like I'm fine. And then I keep going. I keep going, get like halfway down the hill and get stuck on a rock and like fall off my seat and land on the bike and knock the wind out of myself. I'm standing there like all by myself, right? Like trying to walk it off, like jumping around. I'm like in so much pain, like trying to figure it out. And then finally I'm like get back on my bike and I was like, all right, maybe we'll take a blue ride down the hill first to get me warmed up. But yeah, that was the last time I ever hopped into a black diamond to begin with.
Oh yeah, those get tricky. They're super technical.
Yeah, but I don't know, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, found a way to make it this year fun.
Yeah, what are you doing these days?
Just like now, I got a different job now. Like I used to work at Costco, but they laid me off in December, so I picked up another job. Like I build tennis courts. It's not like as cool as everyone thinks. Like it's like hard labor, like construction kind of thing, like with cement and all that. But I don't know. It's not bad. It's a job, but pays the bills. But yeah, it's like
Oh, yeah, I got one of those.
it's 15-hour days. You want to talk about your job a bit?
Not really. Whatever. Just cleaning windows these days, climbing on the ladder, hoping not to gotta put the ladder in the wrong place or fall off the ladder, but doing all right so far. So knock on wood.
Yeah, we
having the time of my life cleaning windows this summer. So there's that.
Yeah. But yeah, we like with this job, like, because Costco had like it's Costco, and they had I don't know, they had like hours and hours of safety training and all this safety stuff. Get to this new job, they throw me on some like 600-pound machine. They're like, "Yep, this button does this does that. Get going." I have no idea. The other day, I was rolling out the lines like on this like 600-pound roller, and I wasn't paying attention. Like I was looking back, and I grabbed like the tennis net. It got caught in the wheel, and it just ripped the whole net all the way down. Right when we were done too, so we had to send, and we were in Toronto, and we had to send like a troop, like a crew back to Hamilton to grab a new net. And these guys are like, "Dad, we don't worry, it's happened before." Like I ripped the.
Would you have to wait there for an hour?
No, we went to like because we usually send like a crew to like one site, and then it was just me, the boss, and the co-owner. Like we were just me, the owner, and the co-owner. We were just at this one spot doing that because they only needed like you only need to put like a top layer of clay down, and
Gotcha.
yeah, there was a different crew, so we went and helped them, and then we went back to hook up the net, but the net ripped right across, and it was tangled in my wheel too, and I was like just looking back, and then he's like, Patrick, look at this guy, like look what he did, he's freaking out. No, but they were just laughing. But I'm like, man, like you guys throw me on a machine and tell me to drive it around for an hour. Like I have no idea what to do. Just gotta figure it out fast.
Nah, you figure it out. It can't be too hard. Yo,
Yeah.
one more thing I wanted to talk about. I don't know if I'll send in that video or not, but do you remember when I tried to do that little video for my sister? You, Greg, and I think
Oh, the project, the school
yeah.
project. Oh my lord.
I probably took about 10 takes. I don't know.
I
I might
could
have to
not.
send in the video. I think I still have it on my phone. But anyways, like my sister had to do like a school project on something to do with like athletics or nutrition. I don't know. So she asked me to like make a little video of like me and the guys just saying a few things. And it's like me, you, and Greg sitting at like the lunch table or whatever, the bar, and in our whatever playroom, whatever you call that, lounge room. And we're like, close the door. We're not letting anyone in, lock it so we can get this done. And you two just, I'm like trying to talk and be all serious. And it's just you two on either side of me giggling away. Couldn't
I could
hold it
not take
together.
that serious. I would look at Greg's face and he'd make like the smallest like face. Oh my, I would start dying. I could not
Yeah,
believe
you
that.
two and your immaturity. The one I have the video of is you, like not even 10 seconds into the video, you're just like laughing to yourself. Like, and then you just go like out of nowhere. And I'm like, what are you doing? And you and Greg just burst out laughing.
That was funny, man.
Hi there, I'm Justin MacPherson, and this is Arber Xhekaj and Greg Morellis, so the Kitchener Rangers. Earlier this year, we went through some tough times and went on a bit of a losing streak. Today,
I remember. I don't even think I did it. Did I do it? I left. I couldn't do it.
The final one? I don't even know.
Yeah,
Might have kicked you out of there.
I think I was done. I think I didn't make the cut after a while.
Yeah,
I would just start
10
talking. I would
takes.
see Greg and you with pure serious faces, and I was like, "Oh, this is bad." Started laughing right away.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. That was a good one.
Honestly, though, like
How
I think
about it?
like that year was probably like the most fun I've had in junior hockey.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
We
closest group of guys.
yeah, we
Like,
did like so much stuff, like just to bring us together. And like, I don't know, like even the little stuff, just me and you, pizza night.
yeah, we would sit
hang,
there, pizza and pop.
hanging, hanging out. Hopefully it was a day off the next day, but me and you would just pick up a pizza and hang out and play video games until 3 o'clock in the morning, playing Far Cry, fishing for some mysterious fish
Oh yeah,
for
that was true.
hours.
With the chocolates too.
Wasting our time.
There
Yeah.
was no days where we just did nothing. It was rare. You always like me or you always wanted to get something going, like go for food, go to the mall, like go to Value Village and see if we can find some hidden gems there. And I remember I bought like you were hyping me up. You were hyping me up and you made me buy like this jean jacket, but it was a painter's jacket. Like it was a painter's coat. And you were like hyping me up, like, oh, you look good in that and all that. Buy that too. And I bought like 5 things. Ended up being like
That
$20,
big
but
gray sweater.
yeah, like a women's like big like fur coat sweater thing. And I've never worn any of these things. You didn't buy anything. You're like, no, I'm not buying that.
Couple good purchases for you. Well,
I was
had to
never
change
doing
up your
nothing.
wardrobe a little from that black tee and the whatever else you wore.
Had to get me a fur coat in there.
Yeah, just like the night you wore Matt's shoes out.
Oh, that was funny. Size 13. I didn't want to go out because of that. I was like, I'm not going. You convinced me
Oh,
to
that was
go out,
funny.
made me look like a fool.
You walking
Oh,
around with flippers on your feet.
we had a lot of good nights. Like, no, it was good. I enjoyed
Yeah,
that year.
man. It's good to look back on, but came to an end. But yeah, well, on to bigger and better things now. You guys should be I don't know. You guys should be pretty good next year, I think.
Yeah, with all the
Ellie leading the way or what?
we still got quite a few guys coming back, and we had good secondary scoring last year. That was like one of the main parts of our team, like Patizzi and Declan, Pinelli, Reed, like they all had lots of goals, like 20 goals each or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it'll like, especially with me, Whaler and Vooks like potentially not coming back next year, like that just opens like more room for you and like even Villy and Motts to like kind of like assert themselves as like real players in this league.
exactly. Like we obviously had good D, so it's hard to get yourself in there. But now there's a lot of room for guys like us to come in. And I think honestly, I think we should be good because I've skated with some of our prospects too, and they look pretty good. So there'll be a lot of rookies. They'll be outnumbering the vets, but
yeah,
those are gonna have to be your teammates. So
you'll make the most of it. Logging 30 minutes a night or what?
Hopefully, we'll see.
Tell Wides to run you through a few more baggers, get the cardio up.
A couple more Russian horseshoes or whatever he calls them.
Yeah, holy, nothing like that guy's shooting from the point drills.
Oh, remember that one time you and Vooks could not stop laughing, and he is ripping us.
He's like just yelling, like
muffin out.
He's just yelling the whole time.
He's firing like million-mile-an-hour passes to us. We can't handle them, and he is just screaming and ripping clappers at us, and no one could shoot because we're laughing the whole time.
He's like half joking, like half not,
yeah,
like
half
ripping
serious.
him off the glass at our face. Keep it in.
And then at the end, we're like, he was actually mad at us, and we're like, oh, like we thought you were just because we did not get better during that drill. That's for sure. Throwing muffins on net.
Those are always fun though. He was good, like pulling us apart or pulling us down to the other end at the end of practice and kind of working on those little things. Like I don't know, I feel like awesome. You take those for granted coach. While you're there, but no, it was definitely really good looking back.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about like your situation next year, what you're going to be doing?
Yeah, I'm going to school next year. I'm going to St. Mary's out in Halifax, play some university hockey out there. Should be pretty good. Get to play against Connor Hall and a bunch of other OHL guys that have kind of moved on. But I don't know, it should be pretty fun though. I got me, Dunkley from London, Busby and Durham from Flint all living together. So I mean, it should be pretty cool and fun. Hopefully if you don't sign your NHL contract next year, maybe see you out there or something. But
yeah,
I don't know, it'll be fun. Yeah, exactly. Buy a house down there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That'll be a good experience getting with those guys and stuff, and you all have something in common. It's not like you're going into a random house and you're like buddies with Dunkley too and stuff like that.
Yeah, and even like those guys, like Dunkley was a first rounder, Busby was drafted to Arizona. Like it'll be good for us to like kind of push each other to kind of stay with it and move on when our time comes out of there, and I don't know, see what happens. Go back to Slovakia maybe.
Get back in that bus drivers going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going back to that league, but I don't know, we'll figure something out. It'll be all right. How about you? Gearing up? What is it? October start?
October start, yeah. Overage year. You know, they always say it goes by fast, but you don't realize. And then
especially when you miss a year and a half.
Yeah, I'm sitting here, oldest player in the league next year. One of them, I'm like, holy, like literally, I felt like last year I was playing for St. Catharines in my 16-year-old year, and you miss a year like that. It just, you honestly, you can't take anything for granted when you play in this league. Like it's the best years of your life. So,
I mean, it's crazy how fast it goes by. I remember my first year we played Peterborough in the first round of playoffs. I think it was Stephen Lawrence. I don't know, something like that. He just played his first game for Carolina, like at the end of the regular season. But I remember his parents were sitting beside mine in the stands, and he might have been in his fourth year, like about to graduate and move on. And his parents were just telling mine how fast it goes by for like them and for the player, right? Like it's just so much going on, and it goes by so quickly, and like it's the best 4 or 5 years of your life, right? And like it's just so much fun, and there's so much to kind of take in, so many new experiences. But I mean, it definitely goes by quick.
Oh yeah, I remember we played our last like playoff game. We lost to Caledonia in the finals, and I remember we had like Mike Davies and like a couple like Carson Edwardson and all those OHL players. They were on my team, and they were all like crying, and they're like, "This is it, like our junior career is done." And I was like, why are they sad? They're moving on to like Brock University or wherever they were going, but like they're like, you don't understand, like it's gonna go by fast, like till we had Tyler MacArthur too, and they were like, yeah, like they're like, before you know it, you're in your overage year. So yeah, you can't take anything for granted.
Yeah, take advantage of your overage year. But you should have fun next year. Yeah, man, junior hockey is a blast.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Slick.
The walkout song.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. I'll be one of the leaders on the team, so that'll be good.
You and Donald taking charge back there.
We gotta lead the way, and come in as a boy, you leave as a man.
A big boy.
A lot changes in those years, man. You don't even realize.
Yeah.
Going as a kid who doesn't know much about anything, you're completely lost. And
me moving into my first billets with the retired older lady, and like her just like babying me, to now like my latest billets kind of just like being so independent, and like it's crazy to like look back and see like how far you've come as like a person, even just admire the journey.
Like same with me, like my billets were telling me like you're 17, you're on 19, like you're gonna follow my rules. I'm like confused here. I'm like, what? Like, is this like, I had no idea what to expect out of billets and stuff. But and then now I got like whatever like my schedule is, that's what I run by. Like you turn into a man pretty much, and that's how it goes at your house too, with your parents and all that too, though.
Yeah, you and Addie at the billet house.
Holding down the fort.
Oh, what a great dog. Just want to say thank you to the fans for kind of tuning in, watching us talk about who knows what, ramble on for a few minutes. But it's been a pleasure. And I don't know if you guys want to go check out my social media. My Instagram is jmac65. And then I believe my Twitter is Justin.mac4. Or sorry, it's actually Justin Mac65. Get that one straight. But it's been a pleasure kind of chatting with you, Al, and kind of going on, reminiscing on some of the good parts. But
it's been good to bring back all the memories. And just want to thank you guys also for tuning in. And if you guys want to follow my Instagram and Twitter, it's _Arber Xhekaj. If you guys have trouble spelling that, you gotta search it up. But
alphabet boy.
Yeah. It's been good. It's been good going back and talking about all the memories and good times we've had and all that. But I just want to thank you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. Probably see you in the next coming weeks.
Yep, we're heading down to get back on the trails or head down to the cottage or something. So we'll be seeing each other no time.
Yep, sounds good.